Hello again, Gills fans. Welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV. It is Monday review time, and I am set to review what was a monumental, surprising, epic, brilliant, deserved 2-0 win at the weekend at league leaders Portsmouth on their own turf, Fratton Park. What a day out. Last season's was really, really good. I said on the match preview Thursday evening, if we could go there and reproduce that, it'd be excellent. Didn't really see it coming. In terms of comparing the two away days from this season and last, I think this one has to go down as slightly better, considering the comparable teams of both sides. I mean, we weren't on the best of runs, but we were certainly in better form last March when we went down to the south coast, and they certainly weren't in as good a form as they were running into Saturday's game. They hadn't lost all season. So yeah, a monumental effort from all the players, all the coaching staff, and fully deserved. It was a joy to be there. One of the 542, I think it was, and obviously we were set on our way. I have to talk about it by this goal. What I've done there, that's 4 stills of Tom Eaves' ridiculous, stupendous, ridiculous, I keep using the word, phenomenal, super goal. Unerring accuracy with the volley, but before then he's had to perform 2 immaculate touches, one to chest it down, one to bring it over his shoulder and avoid the centre half, and then obviously he arrows it into the roof of the net from about 8 yards. It's frighteningly good, and I said on Saturday at the ground or on the way out, if that was a Lionel Messi or a Cristiano Ronaldo or someone like that doing it, it'd be shown around the world millions of times. It's better than really good, but I've run out of superlatives to describe it. There's talk on the back page of the paper. Eaves on wonder goal is the headline on the Medway Messenger. He talks about studying Dennis Bergkamp. He said, I study different centre forwards and I'm constantly watching videos of people creating stuff in and around the box. It was nice to do that, and thankfully it came off. I know when I get the ball in the box I always feel I'm going to score. I did something quite similar to it in training, and it was already in the back of my mind. That, a lot of strikers say that they do it in training, but we never know. But it is backed up inside the paper, I believe, by Alex Lacey, who says, where is it? Commenting on the goal from Eaves, he added, it was a fantastic finish. I was right behind it. It was Bergkamp-esque. He does that in training a lot, and it was great to see it in a game. So fair play. He's obviously pulling it off on a regular basis, but it's slightly different doing it at Beachings than it is to doing it in front of 18,500 at Fratton Park on a Saturday afternoon in them weather conditions as well. And as I've already spoken about, Alex Lacey scored the second goal. Really smart finish. We actually thought at the time, don't know if you've listened to our Match Day Live or the Gills Fancast, I thought it was further out. I thought he was in the edge of the box. He wasn't. He was 6 yards out, but it's still a really smart finish, smacking it into the top corner, and that gave us massive breathing space at the interval, and we come out second half, and one of Steve Lovell's watchwords last season when we got in front was about managing the game, and we managed it really well. They put a lot of stuff into our box and we defended our lines brilliantly. I have sent out this tweet this afternoon, which has caused mainly humour, but I do apologise. I did scare Mrs Fuller a little bit and a couple of Gills fans. He was absolutely brilliant on Saturday afternoon. Barry Fuller playing in a slightly unfamiliar role on the wrong side. He was playing at left fullback with Bradley Garms only just coming back from injury, and Connor Ogilvie unavailable. So it left Garms and young Aaron Simpson on the bench. So Steve Lovell plumped for the experience of Mr Fuller. As you can see by the tweet, that's how good he was. He had Ronan Curtis and Jamal Lowe both in his back pocket for 90 minutes. Didn't give him a sniff. He won pretty much everything in the air that came his way. Positionally, he was brilliant. He very rarely let either of them get in behind. Curtis with his trickery, and obviously Jamolo's very, very quick, but I don't remember many times where they've got on the outside and beaten him for pace or got into really dangerous areas. A lot of their crosses were coming and we were able to head it from in front of us rather than having to turn towards our own goal, which is indicative of how well we did defend throughout the game. So congratulations to Barry Fuller. I think on any other day he'd have probably picked up man of the match, but for Tom Eaves, won the goal. Yeah, so a little look inside. Luke Cordell, match rating to try to compare to ours, but Luke Cordell's pretty much blanket of 8 aside from Tom Eaves, who he's given 9 a man of the match to. He did win the Kent Online vote for man of the match as well. I did laugh on the Matchday Live and on the podcast and said that sometimes it's the easy route for Gill's sponsors man of the matches to be just goal scorers, but I don't think you could not give it to Tom Eaves. I mean, there's goals and then there's that, and just an incredible goal. I keep talking about it. I've watched it thousands of times already. But yeah, back to Alex Lacey. He says clean sheet was my priority. He says the clean sheet was the main thing, to be honest, especially away from home against a team like Portsmouth, and the goal is definitely a bonus. The whole team were fantastic, back to front, everyone did well. We narrowed down spaces and made it difficult then. It was a very good tactical performance and we left everything out there. 100% spot on. I cannot agree with that. I think there's been times this season where I've complained, and when I've been at games at the Priestfield, I've watched the highlights of away fixtures and I've said, oh, you can see there that so-and-so's left his man and let him run and he's let X and Y deal with it, and we need to get back to taking responsibility on our own and not passing the buck to someone else. There was no sign of that on Saturday afternoon. Everybody to a man was brilliant, chucking their body on the line, competing in the air, putting their foot in, driving us forward with the ball being positive. So excellent away display. Steve Lovell, who's been pretty vocal in terms of criticism in the press of his players recently, was obviously very proud. He says it's a boost for everyone. He said we knew that everyone would have to put a shift in and it was a great day. We have to build on this now and hopefully we'll give everyone a lift around the club. That's the key thing now. It's very well going to Portsmouth, who are unbeaten and top of the league, and flying and beating them 2-0. But we now have to back it up. The home form simply has to improve. Last season it was only 5 wins in 23 in the league and it was the worst in the division, and that purple patch away from the Priestfield obviously went a long way to keeping Gills in the division. It's not much better at the moment. It's 1 win from 4. But to flip it on its head, if we're going to look for the silver lining or whatever, or the positives, we have now played 6 of the top 7, I believe. We played Portsmouth, Peterborough, Sunderland, Barnsley, Walsall and Accrington, yeah, and we get Doncaster in a couple of weeks. So within the fortnight, we will have played what is currently the top 7 in the division. We do have a game in hand after last week's fixture against Blackpool was postponed due to the relaying of the pitch at the Priestfield, and I have seen today the turf is starting to go down and we're all being told that this is going to be ready for Saturday's game against Southend. So hopefully we can get on it on Saturday on this brand new pitch and get the ball down and play some good stuff and pick up another 3 points, and then we can start thinking about that end of the table again, upwards rather than downwards. Another thing that Steve Lovell says before I just finish up is momentum is key for Lovell. He says he's going to take a fairly strong side to Charlton's The Valley tomorrow night, Tuesday, as we take on Tottenham's under-23s in the Checker Trade Trophy. Another game, obviously, that's been moved because of the relaying of the pitch. He says the likes of Josh Parker and Bradley Garmston might get a game, but it looks like it's going to come too soon for Regan, Charles Cook and Billy Bingham, who are still doubtful for this weekend, it seems, and Connor Ogilvie cannot play because it's against his parent club. So. But before I go on, let's have another look at it. I'm going to do a little poll on Twitter, so please get involved. Last season we had this goal. And we also had this goal. And then this season at Fratton Park, we had this goal. So that's 5 goals scored at Portsmouth's ground in the last 6 months. 3 have been absolute worldies. So 60% of our goals have been worldies in the last half a year at the ground. Which one's better and why? A lot of people have asked the question in the last couple of days on social media. I'm going to put it to a vote. We'll leave it up for a day or two and see who comes out on top. My vote is Tom Eaves. I've said I think Lee Martins is a super hit. Gets it under control after being given the ball from Lee Martin. Gets it out of his feet, looks up, sees Luke McGee off his line and pings a weldy in the top corner. Connor Wilkinson second for me. Said last year at the time it was my goal of the season over Mark Burns' volley because he has to have 2 superb touches to even think about getting the shot away. The first one, again, similar to Tom Eaves, he brings it over the centre half. The second one, he has to kill it dead on the turf, and that opens up the angle so he can then use the second centre half to bend it in the far corner. That was my goal of the season last term. And then Tom Eaves on Saturday, again, he has to have 2 immaculate, perfect touches before he can even think about volleying it in. The first one on his chest gives him every chance. The second one flips it over his head and around the corner and leaves the defender the wrong way. But then he's still on the wrong side. It's his weaker foot. It's raining. The pitch is zippy. He could slip. So to volley it into the roof of the net with such accuracy and power, for me, says that's the best of the 3. I mean, if we go there next season, if we're still in the same division and we score a goal that surpasses that, I cannot wait. But yeah, let us know. Comment down below on YouTube. Comment on the Facebook page. Comment on Twitter or vote on Twitter and let us know which one you think is the best of the 3, or just do your 3 in order. That'd be brilliant. We are very close to 900 subscribers now, so that prize draw is hopefully getting closer. Well over 900 on Facebook. I think we need 6 on the channel, and then I will try and sort out a prize draw to celebrate the fact that we've got to 900 subscribers. As always, thanks for watching. Please keep liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, doing everything you do. And until next time, up the Gills.